reminder, on this All Saints Sunday, we're not celebrating St. Peter or St. Paul or St. Teresa. Today's commemoration is of those saints known to God who don't have a special day on the calendar, whose lives impacted those around them, whose lives reflected God's love and glory, even if they didn't realize it themselves. In the church's calendar, today is actually All Souls Day, or All Faithful Departed, the remembrance of those who died in Christ. What we're doing today is combining the two, as many churches do, with the recollection of all of our loved ones who have moved to the larger life. Some years ago, there was an email going around entitled The Quiz, and it went like this. Take a few moments to think about your answers to the following questions. Question 1. Name the 5 wealthiest people in the world. Question 2. Name the last 5 winners of the Miss America contest. Question 3. Name 10 people who've won the Nobel or Pulitzer Prize. The 4th, name the last half dozen Academy Award winners for Best Actor or Actress. And the 5th, name the last decade worth of World Series winners. Well, we know who won yesterday. LA. So how did you do? If you're like most people, you can only fill in maybe a couple of names here or there, but usually can't remember who did what or who won what. It doesn't matter. The point is that we don't remember the headliners of yesterday. These are, we don't remember them. They may have been the best in their field, but, the applause vanishes, the awards tarnish, and their achievements are forgotten. Here's another quiz. Think of a few teachers who aided you on your journey through school. I'll bet you everybody here can name their kindergarten teacher. Name 3 friends who've helped you through difficult times. 5 people who've taught you something worthwhile. The people who make you feel appreciated and special. This one's easier. We have no problem remembering the people in our lives who've helped to shape us. We remember those who've inspired and encouraged us. These are the people we tell our friends about. These are the people who hold a place in our heart. The people we truly value. These people have been saints for us who've demonstrated goodness and love and compassion toward us and toward others. So, what is a saint exactly? Because we use this word, and I hope we don't think, but often we think that it means some kind of perfect, holy person. And even though we love the folks that we're remembering today, we know that they weren't always perfect. A saint, the word in the Bible for saint means holy ones. It's used to describe people, mostly alive people, in the writings of St. Paul. And he refers to he calls the communities he's writing to the saints. We know that Paul wasn't perfect. We know that Peter wasn't perfect, and all the rest of the disciples had their shortcomings as well. But all of them had holiness about them. So what does it mean to be holy today? And again, we may have pictures in our minds about what that means, and it's not usually a word we use to describe ourselves. Does it mean perfect, or super religious, or close to God? Jesus answers the question in today's gospel, and it's not a very comfortable answer. Today we get Luke's version of the Beatitudes, and they're starker and more contemporary than Matthew's. Biblical scholars have long pointed out the difference between the Beatitudes according to Luke and the ones in Matthew's Gospel. Most of us know Matthew's version, blessed are the poor in spirit. Luke's version, which we just read, is more bare. There we read, blessed are the poor. Period. Blessed are the poor in both a material and spiritual sense, says Jesus. If we want to find holiness in life, if we want to be blessed, we will know poverty in some way. If you want to look for a saint, look to the poor, those who have little getting in the way of their experience of God. A saint is someone who knows emptiness, someone who needs no pretense or deceit, someone whose purity of heart allows God to be present in a very startling way. Blessed are the poor. Blessed are the poor in spirit. And it's just not the people who exude holiness or astoundingly wise that are saints. Poverty of spirit are the reasons that infants and children, can be saints as well. Can there be a more empty person than a newborn child? Hungry and curious, and yet has such an enormous capacity for God and for love. If we have eyes for it, infants show us the mystery and wonder of God. And also, the sick can be saints. And sometimes the elderly are saints. They show us the mystery of God. Of course, the most difficult part of today's Beatitudes is the last one. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. My response is, what are you thinking, Jesus? How can any of us do this? Martin Luther King did it, and it cost him his life. Jesus did it, and it cost him his life. I don't know how to do it, except in little itty-bitty ways. Every day, I pray that our president, the members of his family and his cabinet all know that they are happy, that they are beloved children of God, that they know that they are cherished and valued. Another way might be to just smile and greet everyone, acknowledging the person that you're meeting as a child of God. And you know how disarming a smile can be. So what about us? We're all called to sainthood, each of us, just by being the best version of ourselves. We can be a saint of God, a holy one, called to that path, just being our ordinary self, so that God can do holy stuff in our lives, whatever shape that may take. A person who listens and loves well. A person who builds others up. A person who sees those that others leave behind or skip over. A person who forgives. A person who serves. That saint can be each one of us. A saint is not perfect. Certainly none of the people in my life who hold a special place in my heart were. But each showed me the love of God in one way or another, for which I'm grateful. They're saints in God's eyes and in mine. Frederick Buechner, a Presbyterian pastor and author, reminds us that when we stand to celebrate the Eucharist, the angels and archangels and all the company of heaven are gathered with us. And as he says, all the company of heaven means everybody we've ever loved and lost, including the ones we didn't even know we loved until we lost them. It means people we've never heard of. It means everybody who ever did, or in the future sometime will come together at something like this table in search of what is offered at it. So here we are, this motley crew of faithful or less than faithful, wanting to do our best, knowing we fall short, and still doing the best we can. trusting the bigger part to God. This is why the church celebrates All Saints' Day, to remind us of those who've been faithful in many generations and holding out that hope to which we can all aspire. For which I say thanks be to God.